Now, Maloney put out a video on October 16th in which he talked about the margin debt, but he also talked about the Buffett indicator. And he shows a chart here that shows how overvalued the stock market is. It's an absolute sell. It's actually much, much higher now than it was. It's much, much more overvalued now than it was in the 2008 crisis. And it's getting so bad that it's fast approaching. It's getting very near the top of what we saw in the 99-2000 meltdown with internet stocks in the internet bubble. That's where we are in danger territory. And I just don't think people understand how badly they can get hurt. People have short memories and people are going to get hurt again. And I think the thing that needs to be said is that what you're supposed to do is be contrarian if you want to be smart with your money. And you got to look at the most hated sectors. And I don't think there's a more hated sector right now than silver. Gold as well. But silver specifically at 14 and a half, 15 bucks an ounce, I mean, it's absolute lunacy. I mean, that's where people ought to be going.
Exactly. And actually, when you look at the graphs, even starting from the beginning of this year on silver and gold, well, do they really want you running to physical? Heck no, they do not want you in physical metals. They want you in their products where they make money, where they can leverage your equity. And when this next crash happens, whatever wealth you hold in there, it's not coming out because there are no buyers. So you're absolutely right. You want to be a contrarian. And then also look at what the smartest guys in the room are doing for themselves. JP Morgan sitting on the largest silver hoard ever in history, far more than Buffett. I think that was 97 and the Hunt brothers in the 80s. Well, why would they be doing that? And central banks have been accumulating gold voraciously since the crisis. But at the same time, even looking at the supply and demand, right, which demand is always for both gold and silver because it's used across the total economy. Everything else has been reflated. Do we remember the talk about the reflation trade? Except for gold and silver, which has been hammered because they don't want you to go there. They're going there, but they don't want you to go there. Do what I say and not what I do.
Yeah, that's right. And let's look at what they are doing. You and I have talked about this before. These guys are selling, right? They want you to buy. They want you to stay in. They want you holding the bag when the whole house of cards comes down. And meanwhile, they make off like bandits.
Exactly. They even did an SEC report talking exactly about that. And people think, well, how can these corporate insiders be selling and the stock market goes up? That's what the flipping stock buybacks are all about. It hides that. It hides that. And not only that, but as we talked about a few minutes ago, with the passive investing, which are all computer-driven algorithms, but with the ETFs resetting that last half hour of the day, that's where all the liquidity is. So if there's going to be some funny business with a corporate insider or what have you selling out a large position, that's where they hide it. That's where they hide it, between that and the corporate buybacks, and you can't see it.
Right.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Well, as we try to read the tea leaves, which has never been harder because of the massive manipulation, because of the plunge protection team and everything else they do to throw at this market to prop it up and make the economy look good. By the way, the economy is fundamentally doing much better because President Trump is in the White House versus Hillary Clinton, in my opinion. I think we're seeing something that the banks, the big international bankers and the Rothschilds don't want. They don't want a powerful United States, a sovereign United States. They would much rather bankrupt us and take the people back into extreme poverty because then they can control us. And the best way to do that is to crash everything and then have the dollar hyperinflate. So here's my question. As we try to read these impossible tea leaves, I recall doing an interview many years ago with Pastor Lindsey Williams. And Lindsey Williams said exactly what we're seeing now. He said they're going to take the stock markets to unimaginable heights. And when you think they can't go any higher, they'll go higher still. He said what you need to watch for is the euro crashing. The euro will go first, and then you'll have a couple of weeks to get out of everything because the dollar will be next. What are you seeing with the euro? And do you think that prediction is somewhat sensical, the prediction he made about the euro going first?
It could go first, but okay, this is the only reason why you hear my hesitancy. Donald Trump is a populist president. Well, their populism has been growing all around the world. So that is a huge threat to the central banks. And absolutely, they would rather, as you said, crash the system so that everything starts out new and you're all distracted. But we are definitely in melt-up phase. And I gotta tell you, Sean, it's really not so hard to read the tea leaves, because all you really have to do is watch the pattern shifts, because the pattern shifts indicate the loss of ultimate control. So while there are indeed all of these manipulations, when I was looking at all of the pattern shifts, I was just looking at that earlier today, just what's even happened since the beginning of the year, but because there was another shift, or an escalation is a better word, in the speed of the pattern shifts that I'm seeing. And it looks eerily like it did, and I just got goosebumps, in between July 2007, when the dollar broke a key level, until 2008, September, October 2008, when the public was aware of it. We saw the same kind of escalation in the speed of the pattern shifts, the decoupling that we're seeing right now. And they know it. They absolutely know it.
That's scary.
So that frankly, that is making me really nervous, because I was just looking at this morning. And I'm telling you, the tea leaves may be murky if you're looking on the surface. What's murky is the timing, but not what is going to happen. Because at the end of the day, the laws of economy work for everybody. These men and women cannot overrule Mother Nature and economic law. There's only so much debt that anybody can take on. Yeah. There's governments take on debt on behalf of the population, and we have to repay it via tax dollars. How much can you tax somebody? Especially when you're pushing down their income. So now, Amazon, woohoo, giving $15 an hour. I mean, is that really even a living wage?